Okay, so thanks for joining. Today is going to be the start of a series to create a clone of Instagram. Now, I'm not saying an exact clone of Instagram because I don't feel like there's any fun in that. So what we'll do is we'll take the components that Instagram uses and use them in a new app. I'll still call this the Instagram clone because a lot of things will still be the same, but it'll be a different purpose. And I'll share that with you. Let's look at the Instagram application. So when you first open Instagram, you are greeted by your newsfeed. If you swipe to the left, you then open your camera. If you swipe to your right, you open your messages. Okay, so here we have a diagram that's just going to walk us through, get us in the mind frame of, the things that we need to complete and code. Well, give it some views. So we're going to basically have 3 views in this situation, one being our main feed, one being our camera, and one being our messages. So there's a couple things that the view controller needs to know. Which one of these is the first view controller? What's the view controller after the first view controller or that view controller, the current view controller? And then what's the view controller before? So this helps to guide through each of the view controllers. So what we said is we're going to assign a first view controller. We're going to assign a view controller that happens after. So once we are on a current one and we swipe right, what will we see? And then also with the left swipe, what view controller are we going to see when we swipe left? So let's kind of go over really quickly what we need to do in order to accomplish this. Our first thing we want to do is create a view controller, page view controller class. 2 is be able to keep track of all of our views. We'll do this in an array. So we're going to basically create an array of all of our view controllers. Then what we're going to do is we're going to implement some of the protocols of our UIPageViewController by saying what to show when we swipe left or our view controller before. So we're going to basically be saying that, hey, when we first boot up the application, this will be our number 1 will be our first view controller. When we swipe to the left, this will be considered our before view controller. And then when we swipe to the right, our after view controller being 3. Now I know these numbers are kind of out of order, how we'll have this in our array, but I just want you to get the gist of what we'll be doing. So next, let's actually get into the code. But we're going to go ahead and start with this single view application. Now if I'm going to jump into the storyboard. We're going to get rid of the default that we have here. We're also going to get rid of this default view controller class because we no longer have that view controller. Let's move that to trash. And let's go ahead and get the page view controller up on the board. So here's our page view controller. And if we remember what we said we needed to do is we need to first set this view controller as the initial view controller. So now that we have that done, we also need to create a new, and we need to create a file. We're going to create a Cocoa Touch class. We're going to name this our root page view controller. Okay. We're just going to clean this up a little bit. And we're going to come back to this. So let's finish setting up the storyboard. Now we know we have view controllers that we'll need in here. And we're going to actually need, let me just shrink this down. We're going to need 3 of these. So these are going to be our 3 view controllers. Okay, and let's just we'll need to get access to these view controllers. So what we'll need to do is actually set up a storyboard ID. So we're going to say that this one is going to be the camera view controller. Restoration ID. Same thing. This is going to be our app view controller. So our main app view controller. Let's keep it 3 letters. And this is going to be our message view controller. MSS view controller. Okay, so now we have access, and let's just make it easier on ourselves and create titles to this effect. So this is our camera. Okay, so one of the things is we are going to want to do is just be able to differentiate between these. So I'm just going to quickly change the color of each of these backgrounds. There we go. So that way we could tell when we're in which one. Now that we have that all set up, we have a way to identify these view controllers. So we're going to go in our root controller, our root page view controller, and our CI. Let's just go ahead and just rename those. Okay. So now we have our root view controller. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to code up the UIPageController and go through some of the code for that in detail. So if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, please subscribe, let me know what you want to see, let me know how I can improve on what I'm already doing, and I'll see you next video.